Barbarian is out now streaming. And have you had a chance to see it? It's being touted as one of the better horror movies of the year. One of the experiences that you just have to check out. And I'm here to tell you that if you've got nothing else to do, maybe you should check it out. That's one of those movies, guys. Let's go over to the IMDb and see the synopsis that reads, a woman staying at an Airbnb discovers that the house she has rented is not what it seems. The movie stars Georgina Campbell, who did good in it. Bill Skarsgard is also in this. Justin Long is in this. And Richard Brake. Justin Long. Yeah. Now, guys, if you haven't seen the trailers for this, it's just, yeah, you think she's there. Bill Skarsgard's already in the house, and it's kind of like, oh, they have to stay in there at night, and crazy stuff's going to happen in the basement, right? There's some kind of weird ghoul or something in the basement that's going to come up and kill them, or Bill Skarsgard's character is kind of like the person that's, behind this all, holding this thing in the basement. There's like a secret door down there that we've seen in the trailers, so it's no big surprise. But I'll tell you this about Barbarian. It does take a few twists and turns that are kind of interesting. It's kind of like, oh, all right. It's got very interesting pacing. It's told in sort of like a non-linear point of view sometimes. It'll show the story, and then it's kind of jarring for some people to go off and have a different part of the story, and then they'll meet up. So it's told in that kind of perspective. Know that. Did it work for me, though? Oh, whoops. Did it work for me when they start kind of revealing what's actually kind of going on? And yes, for the most part, 70% of this is actually pretty good. Because it is creepy that there's this kind of like secret door that goes to this place where there's like a camera and a bed set up. So what the heck is going on in this place? Barbarian. You kind of get the impression that there's like this network of underground passages with like prison cells in it, that there's some kind of a creature or something, or the Skarsgård character is holding people down there captive. And I got to tell you that it does do some switch ups and some things in there that are kind of innovative storytelling. But then it also goes into some weird kind of, now that I know that the director, what's his name? Zach Cregger came from a comedy background. Now that I think about that, as some of the scenes towards the end kind of play out, yeah, I can see that. The third act is definitely the weakest. And that's supposed to be like all the reveals, right? That's supposed to be when you're getting all the best parts. But I actually found that I enjoyed the setup to the film a little bit better than I actually did some of the reveals. And they try to do some gross out stuff. Like, if you know the movie Don't Breathe, where the old man, Stephen Lang, played the old blind man. And you know how that had one really gross part in it? I think they try to emulate something like that in this, but it's not as gross. It's not as gross. So it's a curiosity, I would say, for Barbarian. It's a curiosity. So let's go over to the Rotten Tomato meter and see what people are saying about it. 92% by the critics, 71% by the audience, and that's what I would expect too. I don't know why the critics like it so much. 71% by the audience. I would say Barbarian's more around 6.5. Justin Long is in this. Yeah, you won't like his character. He plays a butthead, but he starts off as a butthead. Yeah. That was interesting to see from Justin Long playing it, because he's usually the geeky kind of person, but it was kind of cool from him. Let's see what some of the snapshot reviews are from The Atlantic. Barbarian serves up all the requisite thrills with panache, but it also provokes deeper, longer-lasting reflections. What? Deeper? There's nothing deep about what's going on here in this story other than the deepness of those caves. It's just gross. Grossness. And a little bit of tragedy, I would say, is mixed in there. Yeah, tragedy. A little bit. And you'll know what I mean when you see the film. Let's take a look at a bad one here. A far-fetched, poorly conceived idea directed incredibly well. Well, I don't know about that. Let me just amplify that a little bit. The directing, I like the pacing of it. I like the acting of it. But the story overall, because he also wrote this too, right? If you don't like horror movies where you are like, you don't like the lead characters doing decisions that they shouldn't be doing, then you won't like Barbarian. It's kind of like, no, don't go down there. You know better to not go down there. Don't do that. It's kind of like, you just got out of there. Why are you going back in there? What are you doing? No person would ever do this. You wouldn't do this, kind of thing, right? If you're like that, then you won't like Barbarian. That's what I would say. All right, guys. Overall, as I said, give it a 6.5. It's not one of the better horror movies of the year. Like, for me, Smile is still probably right up there. Black Phone is definitely better than this. Black Phone. And I liked the Hellraiser movie. But Barbarian, it's worth a look if you got the time. That's what I would say. 6.5 out of 10 for Barbarian. All right, guys. If you like what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, because we do a lot more here on Mirror Domains. We do live movie news daily, 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday, where we talk about all the big movie news headlines. You'll find something that you like here on Mirror Domains, for sure. I'll see you next time. Ooh. Oh. All right. I think that one went okay, right? I didn't want to do too